Hey everyone, today I'd like to go through the solution to this problem with you guys. We're going to check in the official FE reference manual, find the appropriate references, and just solve this problem step by step. So let's get right into it. It says the maximum internal moment has been found to be contained in the section of the beam below the 600 pound per foot distributed load. That's this load right here. The horizontal distance from the roller support to the maximum internal moment is most nearly. All right, transferring this to a clean sheet of paper. Now, for this problem, if we had the moment diagram, we could look at the peak of the moment diagram and we could determine where that peak occurs and get the distance from the roller support. That's one idea. Additionally, if we had the moments as a function of your distance along the beam going from right to left, if we took its derivative, set that equal to 0, we could also find the x location that maximum corresponds to. Remember that if you had a function and that function reached a peak, the derivative or the slope of the tangent line to that curve would be flat at its peak. If we know that the derivative is flat, that means it corresponds to a local minimum or maximum, and we know that that local maximum is going to occur under the distributed load because that's what was told to us in the problem. Okay, the next thing is that if you recall, there's a relationship between load, shear, and moment. The derivative of the moment with respect to x, what we were going to set to 0 to find the maximum, that's actually equal to the shear. So really, all we need to do is find where the shear is equal to 0, or where the shear diagram crosses. Where the shear diagram crosses, the shear becomes 0. If we find that, we find the location where the moment is maximum. Where can we find some of this information inside of the reference manual? Now here I have the reference manual up. I'm in the mechanics and material section, which is where you find beam information. Now you can see here I have some information relating to the positive sign convention of beams. This is very important. It's definitely critical for our understanding shear and moment diagrams. And we're going to discuss that a little bit in this video and the next video that we're going to work on. Now you can also see some of those relationships that I was talking about. The relationship between load, shear, and moment. They're basically integral and derivative relationships between all of them. Okay. Now that we have that information, I also have a little reference here for you guys. Okay. So what we're going to do essentially is construct a shear diagram. We're not going to do it for the entire beam. We're just going to do it for the section under the distributed load. Find where it crosses. Where it crosses is the maximum. That's where the derivative of the moment or the shear is going to be equal to 0. That's going to correspond to our location that we're looking for. So let's get right into it. First thing we're going to need to do is, in that section under the distributed load, there is a roller support. We're going to need that reaction if we want to do the shear diagram of that section under the distributed load. Easiest way to find that reaction is we're just going to take a moment at point A. So let's go ahead and do that. If we want to sum the moments at point A, set it equal to 0. I'm going to write down the equation for you guys step by step and then fast forward through all the calculations. So we have, let's say counterclockwise is positive here. We have a 950 times 2. That's this point load contribution to the moment. We have a clockwise 30 foot-pounds. That's this. We have a counterclockwise 250 foot-pounds. That's a positive. As well as a clockwise contribution. Clockwise contribution by that distributed load. If we convert that to a statically equivalent point load, its magnitude would be 600 times 4. That's the magnitude of the distributed load multiplied by the distance is the total concentrated load. That's just 600 times 4. placed at the centroid of the distribution, which is shown there. The distance from A is 3 plus 1.5 is 4.5, plus the extra 2 is 6.5. And then the last contribution is from this reaction at B. So the reaction at B is going to produce a counterclockwise moment. Reaction at B multiplied by the distance, which is 6.5 plus 2. That's 8.5. Solving for the reaction at B and getting the value. If you're prepping for the FE mechanical exam and looking for more high quality practice problems like the ones in these videos, check out my app FE Interactive in the description below. You gain access to a question bank of over 500 problems spread across the relevant sections of the FE exam, time practice exams, analytics to track your progress, calculator tips, and more. Use referral code Engineering Fundamentals, which can be found in the description below, to get a free month after subscribing. What we end up getting here is that the reaction at B is 1585.88 pounds. Okay, so let's go ahead and construct the shear diagram. We know we're going to start at some, if we begin here at the end, where we know the shear diagram must be equal to 0, we decrease by an amount equal to 1585. So just before the load, we're at a negative 1585.88. The load causes us to go back up to the 0 value on the shear diagram. We know that this distributed load causes a decrease from some upper point here to a lower point, that negative 1585. What's this point that we started at right here? That's going to be equal to 600 times 4 added to this value. So that means up here, we're at a value of 814.11 pounds. Okay, so we started at this upper portion, 814.11. We decrease linearly because the load is a constant. That means the shear is going to be linear. There's an integral relationship between the two. We decrease linearly until we reach that negative 1585, at which point the reaction is going to cause us to shoot back up to the 0 value here on the shear diagram. What we're looking for is this location right here, which corresponds to the maximum moment. This is when the shear, or the derivative of the moment with respect to x, is equal to 0. We're looking for that location. What's that location going to be? We know that in order to get this, in order to generate this line here, we had to utilize the load, the distributed load, right? We decreased by 600 times 4. So that means this slope here was 600. If we draw that lower triangle portion, what we have is a triangle here. Its leg length is 1585.88, and we're looking for this distance x. That's a similar triangle to the slope produced by the distributed load, where this distance is 600 and the horizontal distance is 1. Okay, so if we use similar triangles here, what we see is that the x over 1 value is exactly equal to 1585.88 divided by 600, 2.64 feet. And this is our answer here. If you're enjoying the video thus far, please leave a like and subscribe. Okay, so let's go ahead and check our answer. See if we got that down. So we got the answer correct. If we go ahead and view this explanation, just to review what we just did in this video, what we did was we basically had an argument where we said if we had a moment diagram, we could look at the peak. If we could identify where the peak is, we could find the location. Alternatively, if we could write the moment as a function of x, what we could do is just take its derivative, set it equal to 0. We could find the maximum in that way. But then we saw that the derivative of the moment with respect to x was essentially equal to the shear. So what we said we're going to do is we're just going to construct the shear diagram for just this right portion underneath the distributed load. So for this portion under distributed load, you could see that we constructed the shear diagram here. And we said that the amount that this is decreasing is equal to the magnitude of that distributed load, 600 pound per foot, gives the slope of this line. Using the slope of that line, as well as the smaller triangle here, what we could see is that we're looking for that distance x1. Solving for that distance x1 by similar triangles, we found that it's 2.643 feet. If this video was helpful for you, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.